What is up, guys? It's Brillymister here, and today I decided, now that Hunter has been nerfed, I was going to test out a few different methods, some of the old methods for hunting and some newer ones, and some stuff that's been made better by the nerf, just to see kind of how things will stack up now. If you do enjoy my content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon so you're notified of all my future content, and if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button. So the first method that I decided to test out was one that was probably one of the primary methods for training Hunter before the nerf. You used to be able to get about a mil XP per hour, and you got a decent amount of money as well. I don't think the GP per hour has changed very much, and I would probably expect the actual GP per hour to go up over time now the nerfs happened, as less people are going to want to do them because they are less XP per hour. Because you don't get extra XP for the double, triple and quadruple catches now, you kind of just get the flat 451 XP per catch. The XP per hour now is 300 to 320k an hour, which is fairly decent, I found out from all the stuff that I have tested. However, compared to something like Grenwalls, they're a little bit more click intensive because they've got a much higher catch rate and they don't make anywhere near as much money. So overall, I'll probably give these 3 stars out of 5 post the nerf. They are a decent training method, but by no means the best one out there. So the second hunting method that I did test out is red Chinchompas. I know these weren't a very utilised training method before the patch that nerfed all the hunter XP rates, but I kind of just did these for nostalgia purposes because back in the day they were definitely something that people used to hunt. So they're not too bad if you're not 99 going for 120 hunter, because you can start hunting them at like level 80 effectively with 5 traps. So you can get decent XP rate for that kind of level, and you make a little bit of money per hour, but if you're a higher level then they're definitely not worthwhile. They're sort of capped out at 120 to 135,000 XP per hour, which is pretty bad really for high levels, and the GP per hour isn't very competitive with any of the other methods really. So overall, on the basis of that, I'm going to have to give them a 2 out of 5 rating. They're not worth it if you pass kind of like level 85, I wouldn't say. So the third method that I tried out is actually one of my personal favourites for doing Hunter. The XP per hour isn't great, but it more than makes up for it with the GP per hour. I know that before the Hunter nerf you could crystallise these and you'd get much higher XP rates, but even now they're just so chilled out to do. Like the catch rate's quite low on them, but you get quite a large amount of XP per catch. So even though you're not having to click and constantly pay attention, like it's almost semi-AFK-ish, you still get a decent amount of XP per hour. I mean, 220 to 250k it's not great, but it's still decent. The main attraction to these is the fact that you make 4.5 to 5 mil GP per hour, and that is really amazing for doing skilling, to be honest. Like you're getting hunter XP, which is only like 50 or 60k XP less per hour than you were getting at crystal Chinchompas, but you're getting 5 times the money, and that, for that reason, I got to give them 5 stars. They are definitely one of my 2 favourite methods for doing hunter right now, and you'll see my favourite one later in the clip. So next up we have Tortles, not Ornate Tortles, just normal standard Tortles. My personal opinion on these is, since the nerf and even kind of before the nerf, they were kind of underwhelming for XP. Obviously you make no GP here either because they're on the Ark. You get Ark resources which you can use to make shark soups or whatever and get some chimes, but they're not making you any actual money per hour. So their XP per hour now is 180 to 200k an hour, which is by no means anything spectacular, and my personal opinion is these are not really worth doing. So for that reason I have only given them 2 stars out of 5. Next up we headed over to the Tortles Ornate Cousins. So the XP per hour here is much higher than the normal Tortles, which is why they said they're pretty underwhelming. They do have quite a high requirement. I believe they take 96 hunter to be able to actually hunt them, but the XP per hour you get here is very good. It may not be anything near what you used to be able to get before. I mean, one ticking them before, you could easily get over 1 mil XP per hour. But then as everything has been nerfed down, these are still actually some of the best hunter XP you're going to be able to get. Obviously, like the other Tortles, you're not going to make any money per hour here, but the amount of XP per hour you get here definitely brings their rating up, and for that reason I've decided to give them 4 stars out of 5, as they're going to be a very effective training method if you are looking to increase your hunter XP. So since the hunter nerf / rework, they made hunting butterflies and moths sort of semi-AFK, or actually it's quite AFK. You click on one and it just keeps catching it until eventually it will fly off and you have to kick another one, but it's very AFK. So if you do that in the wilderness on charming moths and you use a demonic skull, which gives you 20% more XP as well, and you get some really good XP rates, and this is AFK, like 500 to 550k XP an hour. You have to click once every couple of minutes. On top of that, you get 75k agility XP per hour, and it's ridiculous. It's so good, this method. It's definitely my favourite. You also get a few charms to go with it as well. I'm going to give these obviously a 5-star rating because they are amazing. The only downside to this method is there is a risk of being PK'd, but you're not really risking much. You're only risking a few urns and like your demonic skull, and I haven't seen a single PK here yet. So definitely my favourite method since the patch. The last thing that I did try out was, of course, Big Game Hunter, as that is the big new addition to the game with this patch and nerf. So the XP per hour here really does vary depending on what monster you do. If you do the low level ones, the XP is a little on the low side, but you also make some good GP from getting the meat, which is then used as bait for the higher tier ones, as at the moment everybody is currently trying to do the higher tier ones to get the maul chance. If you do the higher tier one, it's going to cost you a bit of money to do, well actually quite a lot of money. The high level one, I couldn't even buy the meat for 200k each in the Grand Exchange. But if you do get them all, then it makes it worth it, because it was like 300 mil in one big go. But if you do any of the lower tier ones, then the GP per hour is pretty good, because obviously there is the high demand for the meat at the moment. The XP per hour again does vary. The higher level ones are much better XP than the low level ones, and the one thing you can't overlook on this method is it's actually quite a lot of fun. It's actually enjoyable rather than just sort of repetitive, grindy setup trap, dismantle trap, setup trap, dismantle trap. So it gives a bit of variety to doing hunter, and for that reason I've given it a 4 stars out of 5, as it is generally a pretty decent all-round method, and it does scale quite well with your levels, because you can start it at like level 70 and then the stuff all the way up into the level 90s. So it is one of the more enjoyable ways to train hunter. I hope that you have enjoyed watching this video and it's helped you kind of understand the XP rates now more post hunter nerf, and help you decide what you want to hunt if you're going to do and train hunter at all. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell icon. Any questions in the comments below, I generally reply to everybody, and if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like. Thanks very much for watching. Till next time, see ya.